Welcome back, everybody. Want to make a quick one today, just letting you guys know that everything is going to be okay. So I've spent the better part of today and some days, not as much recently, more so about a month ago, but today especially, just very anxious about the future, a little bit sad about the past, and just very in my head and fearful and just kind of worried more so than anything. Just overthinking and kind of overdoing that mental process of just running circles about like what's gonna happen and what already happened and just taking out the moment. So for me, it just something I talk about with my therapist of realizing that fear has never helped anything that I've done. Life is gonna flow like a river, regardless of if you're excited, if you're scared, if you're whatever the case is. Life is gonna flow, and being scared of what's coming, what could happen, what may happen, which may never actually happen, has never actually helped me with anything. In fact, it's actually made things worse. It's ruined a few things, but the thing that was going to happen happens regardless, and being scared of it never actually helped. And I know it's easier said than done, but for me, it actually ruins things at times. So it does more damage than help to stress about these things, to be anxious about them, versus just saying, I'm going to live in this moment, and when that thing comes, I'm going to deal with it then, and just take it head on when you have to deal with it, versus just letting it take over the now and then creating a situation that actually in your head that might not actually happen in material form. So it's important to stay in the present, stay in the now. As I said, a lot easier said than done, but I think it's very important to just try to stay grounded as best as you can. The things you're stressed about, whether that's work, relationship, cities, whatever it is, they're gonna work out for the best. It just takes time, and I'm guilty of that myself. Just having come out of a relationship, I'm been in a mindset of wanting to be, immediately right back into one, right back into one. But as I'm moving forward, and I don't mean immediately back in with anybody, I just wanting that relationship feel again is what I mean. But as I've progressed, I've realized that if I had just, gone back to my ex or someone else a week after the breakup, I wouldn't have gotten all the regression and growth and healing that I've done over the last month and a half, because I wouldn't have felt like I needed to do that. I wouldn't have felt like I needed to grow and to push to be better. I would have just said, okay, I got it back right away. Don't gotta earn it. Don't gotta put any work to improve myself. So, in the moment though, that was very stressful for me, and I was very anxious about it. And I was just like, I need this now. Like this is the end of the world. And although yes, it did hurt a lot, this growth over the last month and a half, almost 7 weeks, has been very important and very life-changing for me. And as I mentioned, if I had just gone back with her right away, I probably wouldn't have felt the need to do this self-growth, to keep pushing myself, to express myself more, to go out and live more, to do things, to make myself better, to improve myself, to do these things that I'm doing now. I probably wouldn't have felt the need to do them. So for me, even though it was super stressful in the moment, looking back on it now, I can see that it was actually a good thing. And that happens with a lot of things, where it's, looking forward, like I'm going to be moving in a month back to my hometown for the summer. And that to me can be make me pretty anxious, because then, moving forward past that, I don't really know exactly where I want to go, potentially to Europe, potentially different part of the US. Like, it's very up in the air and all of that, work stuff. It gets in my head, and then obviously relationship stuff too. It just gets into this cycle of just making myself feel crazy, and it just goes, what about, like, what if this happens, or if this happens, or how would that happen, or blah blah blah, what if this doesn't happen, or that, or this, and it just runs with those cycles of just craziness. And then it just ruins this moment. Those things will take care of themselves as they've come. And I reflected back to myself thinking, okay, every time I've stressed about a situation and been anxious or fearful, it did nothing to help. And that situation, when it came out, I handled it when it came. Like, moving to Miami, it was the same thing a year ago from now when I was stressed, like, oh, how am I gonna find a place? I don't know anybody there, and then ended up coming here, met great people, found a great place, and it's been amazing. Same thing with finding a relationship back before I met my ex. Just like constantly stressing about it, like when am I gonna meet somebody, when I'm gonna, how or where or when or whatever, and then as soon as I stopped stressing about it, that's when I met her. So it's a bit backwards in the way of we try to control things, and by doing that we lose control. We only can really gain control by letting go, which it seems like an oxymoron, but it's true. These things we stress about, we try to control the flow of everything that happens versus just going with the flow of life. It's like trying to beat a river into submission, trying to force it to go one way or another versus just flowing with it and just taking that ride with it and allowing these things to happen, these great things to happen as they do. And that doesn't mean to just do nothing. I mean, you gotta work in life, you gotta on yourself, have fun, work on whatever the case is, just doing things in life to propel yourself forward, but also just flowing with however life is going to come at you, allowing yourself to just go with life and not be so stressed, because in the end it is going to be okay with whatever it is that you're stressing about. It is going to turn out okay. It's going to be fine. You're going to do great, and whatever it is, things are coming, whatever it is that you desire. If you're putting in the work towards that, if you want a relationship, instead of saying, okay, I want this out of a partner, become those things that you want. If you look for someone who's kind, who's adventurous, who's well-spoken, become those things. Start being kind to people, start taking more trips, start expressing yourself more, become those things, and you'll attract it more. And just be okay putting in that work for that process and not needing a certain date when it's going to happen, or not saying it has to happen by this point, and just enjoy the process of doing. Because as I mentioned, even though I am a big fan of being in a relationship and I feel like that's something I want as of now, I saw something which is very funny, because I said it to myself when I was very young, but I saw it online recently, which was to enjoy the time of not having that thing, because the time will come where you have it, but enjoy the time you don't have it. So for me, in this case, it's enjoying the time being single. So for me, is being able to do certain things like raves and certain type of festivals and stuff that might not be as okay to do when I'm in a relationship, especially without my partner there. Things like that, and then doing certain activities and having certain freedoms that you have more so when you're single. It's just about making the most of those. And from my personal experience when I was younger, the thing I said to myself was, before I got my license, which I had failed my driving test the first time I got it, but I think this was even before that. I always knew, I always loved driving. I always knew I was going to get my license. I got it very early as I could, for pretty much any of my friends. And I remember it was about maybe a month or so before I got my license. I just told myself, I was so excited about it, but I told myself that, hey, enjoy this time. Enjoy this time before you get it, because even though it's going to be great, nothing's going to be the same, right? So although, yeah, life's been so much better since I got a license, that last little bit of time before I got it, life has never been like that again. So for me, it was just kind of telling myself, like, hey, like, you're gonna get this thing, you're gonna get this thing soon, but enjoy this time of not having it, because this is a different way of life. Maybe having the license will be better, but enjoy this type of life, because it's never gonna be like this again. So again, apply that to whatever it is. If you're want to move to a new city and you're stressed about it and you're thinking, oh, like, I don't like being in this place, but you're going to be getting there at some point. So just try to enjoy that moment, because even though it might not be ideal where you are, or whether you want a relationship or whatever the case is, enjoy where you are now, because even if it isn't better, so to speak, than the thing that you're going to be getting, it's never going to be like this again. And it's all part of the experience and the journey of life. So just enjoy it while you can, because it is all going to be okay. It's going to be great. that things are coming, whatever it is that you really desire and putting your heart to and working towards, it is gonna come. So find some time to enjoy this moment, this point in time, because tomorrow's not even promised. And that's just such a factor that we overlook too, that tomorrow's not promised. You know, you could be so angry about something that's going to happen a month from now, and you don't wake up in 2 days, and you spend the last couple days you have just angry about a situation that will never exist. So find peace in this now, in this moment, and even if you're not where you want to be, still enjoy it, because again, when you get that thing, even though yes, it could make your life a lot better, it's going to be so different. So just enjoy this time the best you can. Enjoy this point of life, because it is a blessing to be here, and I lose sight of that at times too, and I definitely see that. But this life is a gift. Find some people to enjoy life with, spread love, find somebody to love, enjoy the little things, enjoy the experiences of life, not just material things, but enjoy life, express how you really feel to people, express your emotions, even if you're a guy, especially if you're a guy, express your emotions, talk about the things. It's not weak or, you know, bad to do that as a guy. I think it's actually stronger to be able to express your emotions and speak about how you feel. It'll help you a lot more in relationships, trust me on that one. And just enjoy your life and be you, authentically just be you, and do what makes you happy. This life is great, can be very stressful, but it can also be very great if we let it, enjoy it. You know, this moment is a blessing and the next moment's not promised. So just want to make this to let you guys know that it is going to be okay. I did need to hear this myself too, so it's for both of us. And yeah, I appreciate you guys all for being here. So remember to always live for the now, and catch you guys in the next one.